A lot of the conventional wisdom around this, I feel, is incorrect, and it actually harms people. I bet if you put it in ChatGPT or somewhere on Twitter or anywhere else, a common response will be give your manager some feedback because maybe they don't know what they're doing. I'll tell you, that's really bad blanket advice. So my perspective is different from actual experience. Look, most people are not as open to feedback as even they themselves might claim. That's number one. It gets worse when there is a clear power dynamic. So peer feedback works better than unsolicited feedback to your manager. Most cases, with most managers, it will not work. And sure, in an ideal world, I want it to work. But we don't live in an ideal world. You still need to operate and succeed in a less than ideal world. So unless the manager has shown very clear signal that he or she is very, very open-minded and has a growth mindset, and you should be able to have seen that, right, through your interactions with them. Unless a manager has shown that, don't do the whole, oh, can I give you some feedback? Don't do it, all right? Or I have some feedback for you. No, it is not going to work. It's not going to serve your goals. You'll feel good about doing it, but it's not going to serve your goals. So the reality is, in these types of situations, you want your manager to leave you alone as much as possible. If the manager is incompetent, they're not going to help you anyway to achieve your goals. If anything, they might get in the way. So what you want to do is you want to suggest to the manager that it would be helpful if there were more structure around how the two of you interacted. That's what you want to suggest to your manager. And you might suggest it in many different ways, depending on the situation. But one way is you might ask in a one-on-one, like, hey, Bob or Alice, whatever your manager's name is, we've been doing these one-on-ones. They've been very helpful for me. I'm just curious, how helpful are they for you? I know you're busy. I see your calendar, it's fairly full. I want to make sure that our time together is extremely high leverage for you. So I'm just curious, is this a great use of your time? And embedded in that question is, how can I make this a better use of your time? Ask that open-ended question and just let it go, right? Like just let them talk. Through this question, arrive at a revised approach of how you should engage. It might mean, oh, you know what, we're going to do one-on-ones every other week and we'll do async updates. Or they might say that, oh, actually, you should talk more closely with this peer of mine because that's the person whose project you're working on. Or you should talk closely with my boss because you're directly working on some project there. Whatever the case might be. Don't give them a solution. Don't say, oh, and I thought about this. Because remember, people want empowerment and they want control. So don't take away that control by suggesting an option. The moment you suggest the option, they're not going to like the option. But if there's an option they came up with, they'll love it. And then when they come up with it, say, oh yeah, you're right. This makes a lot of sense. I wonder why I did not think about this. And be sincere when you do this. All of this only works when you do it with integrity and sincerity. And document this approach in your one-on-one doc or somewhere and follow through with it. A lot of it depends on the specifics of the situation, but what I just shared with you should apply in every situation.